year. We're in 2025. I am doing excuse me. I'm doing exactly what I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna fulfill what I do for the new year. I'm very excited. I just want to say, as a recap of 2024, it has been extremely, extremely, extremely interesting and very transformative. As I stayed to myself, mainly as I dug more into my word, as I just experienced some things that I will keep to myself, it showed me how great God is. It showed me how much I can trust and have faith in Him. And He's doing a work in me, guys. He's doing a work in me. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. But let's get into it. I'm just going to start with a little Q&A today, because I want y'all to get to know me a little bit as I start this podcast. Alrighty. So, the first question: what inspired me to do a podcast? So, to make a long story short, I actually wanted to start this like 4 years ago. I was always on the verge of starting it. One time I did start it, but it wasn't how I wanted it. Like, it was always like obstacles and things in the way of me trying to do it. And every time I tried to do it, it seemed like it wasn't the right time. It seemed like I didn't believe in myself as much as I should have. It seemed like things just wasn't going the way I wanted to go. I didn't, financially or whatever, because I felt like I needed to be somewhere financially, in order to get supplies and things like that. But, I got the basics, but, now I'm in a different mindset. I just feel like if I'm going to start it and pursue it, that's what I need to do. So, yeah. How did you come up with your podcast name? So, for those of you guys who don't know, it's called Another Me Podcast. This showcases the transformation in the work that God is doing in my life. And it's showing that I am evolving. I'm an evolving woman. And it's showing, as I do this podcast, I will showcase to my audience how that transformation can do so many great things and open so many doors for you. So that's why I named it Another Me Podcast. And also, if you haven't heard it before, Queen Naja's Another Me hits every time, and it really spoke to me in my heart, because it was kind of like the story of my life type thing. And I was like, that's it, Another Me Podcast. So that's how I chose the name. All right. What type of content can your viewers and audience expect to see from your podcast? So you will see a lot of sit downs. I'm sitting on my little cozy chair right now. You will see a lot of sit downs. You will see a lot of questions, a lot of updated type things. You will see a lot of Christ-like talk, because I am a Christian, if you haven't noticed. I'm a Christian, so it's going to be a lot of that, a lot of faith talk, a lot of girl chat, a lot of that type of stuff. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know. What challenges have I faced so far in creating my podcast? Y'all, it's been 4 years. Y'all, just my dog Blaze. Say hey, Blaze. Anyways, it's been 4 years. 4 years. So challenges I've had to face, financial challenges. I'm still in college, so school within itself, challenges from those, family challenges, challenges within myself, challenges with my connection and relationship with Christ. It's just a lot, and it's like, when it's time to do something, it's time to do something. Don't keep limiting yourself. And that's what I'm doing. So I am putting all my faith and hope in Jesus Christ and just doing what I've been wanting to do for the last 4 years. What are my goals for this podcast? So I really just want this podcast to reach somebody. For me, my motto is like, if I can touch one person, that is a whole lot. That makes a world of a difference, because a person has a soul, and every soul is very, very precious. And the people that I connect with, the people that I can inspire, the people that can feel me on the same level, you know, I feel like that does wonders for me, and it makes a huge difference. A huge difference. How do I stay motivated when it comes to creatives and brainstorming new ideas? So I think, you know, the influence of just looking at how the whole world is doing stuff. And I'm not saying like doing what they do, but like, you know, we strategize from each other. So it's like, you can pull this idea and mix it with this one, pull this one and mix it with this one. And then also the creative idea you would just come up in your head. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Like, I could see something, I could be like, oh, I might want to mix it with what I got going on up here. Let's see how that work out. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different ways to come up with creative ideas if you're a creative. What advice would I give to somebody who is starting a podcast? I am not a professional podcaster, so all I would say is be yourself, have fun, do it how you love to do it, pray, stay motivated, and if you feel like nobody's supporting you, remember that God is your number one supporter. As long as you're pleasing him, no problem, girl. Do you, boo. So yeah, don't want to answer anymore. How old am I? I'm 21. I am a Taurus, even though I'm not into all that stuff. I know some people might want to know I'm Taurus. My birthday is April 30th. I was born in 2003. What else? I grew up in a single parent household. I'm a dancer. I've been dancing since I was about 7 years old. I am professionally taught in African and liturgical, and I'm self-taught in hip-hop dancing. I love food, especially Mexican food. That's my favorite. I love gospel music. I love R&B. I love what you call them things? Neo soul. I like to listen to ocean sounds when I read my word. I am in love, deeply in love with Jesus. He is my main man. I am single. I do want to get married in the future, but that's for the future. Go to church every single Sunday. I've been doing that since I was in the womb. I never miss a Sunday. What else? What else is there about me? I have a dog. His name is Blaze. He's 3 years old. Okay. I think y'all got the gist of it. But yeah, this is just an introduction. I do want to say this though. Last night at my church we had New Year's service, and it was phenomenal. Me and my dance team danced. It was phenomenal. We all did a great job. We glorified the Lord, and we did what we were supposed to do. My uncle preached about sowing our seed and doing what the Lord has planned for us to do in 2025. And he made it visually presentable for people by giving them a bag of seeds. And this helps a lot, honestly, because sometimes not just preachers, but anybody can talk about something and you don't really get it until you can physically touch it, until you can physically have that visual representation of what's being affirmed to you. And I feel like doing these podcasts, vlogs, whatever, is one of my seeds that I have to sow. And I gotta stop just putting the seed there and not watering it and just letting the seed sit. It's time for me to sow my seed. And not just with podcasts, but everything that I want to accomplish in my life, with everything that God sees fit for my life. It's time to sow my seed. And it's time for changes to be made. It's time for God to make his way in my life like he's never done before. This will be the best year of my life. And I'm already claiming it now. I'm thanking God for the storms that I am about to go through. Because just because I know that blessings are on my way, they're in my life already, there's still going to be storms. But those storms help us grow. Those storms sow our seeds. So I'm ready. I'm ready to see what 2025 has in store for me. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to make that known. I wanted to let everybody comprehend that, because like I said before, sometimes we can have these goals, we can have these things that we want to accomplish for the new year, but because we don't visually have the representation, we don't think about it too deeply. And I'm gonna keep these seriously, because yeah, for me it does differently when I have the meaning in my hand, you know. So I don't want to lack no more God has planned for me. I don't want to sow seeds on rocky dirt without water. I don't want things like that, because my seed is not going to grow. So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys today and just let you know that you do have much to look for coming from me concerning Another Me podcast. So I want to leave you guys with the word. I think that's how I want to end my podcast. I want to end it with the word. Here we go. We just talked about sowing a seed, right? So we're going to get our word from Psalms 1 and 3. He is like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears its fruits in its season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does, whatever God does, will prosper. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. God loves you more. And with that being said, you can find Another Me on another podcast. See you guys later.